Gareth, what's the mood?
I think it's one of a bit of disappointment, firstly, but still very excited of where we are this part of the season, and thoroughly looking forward to going to Treviso and making amends for last weekend's result, really.
If you'd won last weekend, the pressure would be off this weekend to a degree. You could go relax, probably come away with something, but now there's a bit more pressure on you, is there?
Yeah, I don't think you can go to Treviso and relax. I think they've got stronger every year, and we pay them utmost respect. Obviously, the last weekend's result didn't go our way, which was bitterly disappointing, but if it did, we would be looking to go for another victory anyway. So like I said, it's just back to the drawing board, find out where we went wrong last week, and I think most of the lads are looking forward to trying to get back on the field and put that right as soon as possible. And something like Treviso is not going to be easy to do that, but something that if we get back to where our form was prior to the Ospreys, I don't see why we can't come away with a victory.
You know what Treviso like at home, what they did to the Ospreys amongst others, and how difficult they're going to be up front and away, the shades of what went wrong Friday night.
Well, yeah, in some ways it's a great test for us because probably by their own admittance, some of our forwards weren't too happy with their games, and Treviso have got very much similar in terms of the pack, so it'll be nice to go out there and like I said, put things right against something very similar in terms of the way their pack performed. How do
you were doing so well, and then obviously things came off the rails. Do you still feel you're a bit like the team you were this time last week, or has things changed? But
no, it was always going to be a tricky game. It's a local derby. The Ospreys were a very good side, and the simple fact was that probably we were going into the game looking for a fourth straight victory, and the Ospreys were under immense pressure in the fact that they were facing a fourth straight loss. And I think in terms of those little 50-50s, I think in fairness to the Ospreys, it's not nice to admit, but I think they won those 50-50s, and it reflected on the outcome of the game, really.
If it showed you needed to bulk up the front five a bit, you've got a new arrival this week. Tell us about him.
Yeah, he's arrived. It's just basically, obviously, with the change in time zones and things, it takes the lads a while, especially from the other side of the world, to get into things. So he's just getting gradually introduced into the environment, meeting the lads and getting used to our system and things, really. So like I said, every other recruit we've had this year has been really positive. And people like George have added some great bulk, which is what we probably needed into the pack. But like I said, we're looking to go to Treviso all guns blazes and get our season not back on the road, because I think so far we would have taken, in terms of the points we've got in the table, and to be top of the table after round 4 we would have been happy, but it could have been a little bit better, and I'm sure if we can get to Treviso with showing the form we did in the previous weeks, then hopefully, like I said, we can come back from this sitting pretty still at the top of the table.
How do you integrate someone new into the squad? Is it sort of practical jokes and Mickey taking from day one, or is it a little bit quieter? Give us a picture of what it's like.
No, obviously it's when you've been involved in any environment, especially a rugby environment, they're all pretty much similar, and I think it's just about making sure everyone is comfortable. It's a big change for some of the lads coming from the other side of the world, and I'm sure they get a warm welcome here with all the lads, and within no time at all they're settled in and they're enjoying themselves, and when they're doing that, that's probably when you get the best out of them as players as well. So that's what we try to do, really.
Last one from me, but I guess there may be a few changes from last weekend, and obviously you coming in amongst those. Is there an extra determination to come in and make an impact and make a difference?
Yeah, whenever anyone's sort of given an opportunity, I think that's the case. But as you've probably seen, we've got some great strength and depth in different positions, and I think the sides where the recruitment's been and where it is now is the fact that we can field sort of some different players, personnel in different positions, and it doesn't really weaken the side. We've got some great options, like shows, for example, when Jordan Williams takes a man of the match performance and doesn't make the squad the following week, but that's not that's just a sign of where we are in terms of, and the other thing is we can pick different personnel for different teams and different games, and I think that's only going to, you know, be a positive for us moving forward.
What's the key to winning in Treviso?
I think you've got to be very clinical. They'll have a very strong set piece, especially they tend to go with the driving line out. And they're a very good support out there. It's not a nice place to play, really. You know, it's they're very well supported, and they're very, like I said, they're very well drilled side, and I think they always serve up opportunities, and there are always opportunities for, you know, the opposition in the game. But I think you've got to take those, and I think I can remember playing a couple of years ago when we went 20 points up and ended up losing the game, and so you can't switch off against them either. And they've made some good recruits from you know, within Italy, and they're just getting stronger and stronger every year. And you know, we won't be underestimating what task we are ahead, which is a pretty difficult one.
Have they been a positive addition to the Celtic League?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's from a player's point of view, it's always nice to go and experience playing in different countries, and the Italian way of playing is different to the French, and it's different to the English. So it's only gonna, I think it helps people playing in the Rabo, and you know, I think it has definitely made it stronger.
Is the challenge now for the Scarlets, Gareth, the fact that sides look at what the Ospreys did last Friday and think, right, we've got to copy that? Is that the challenge for the pack here, especially the people who think that, you know, they come at them?
Yeah, I think the disappointing thing was the fact that I think we had the armoury to neglect what the Ospreys did the other day. I just think it was just a case of we weren't quite on our game. They were, like you said, you know, they were facing you know, 4 from 4 losses, and us vice versa, and I think that, like you said, that little 50-50s, we came off second best, and that's definitely something that you know, 1 to 15 we're going to be working on this week, because Treviso, as I've already said, is going to be almost identical in terms of which way they approach the game.
Because I suppose you've had this over the last few years that question marks have been raised about the Scarlets having, you know, the quality behind but not quite having the strength up front. Do you think those questions will resurface again?
Well, everyone's got their right to, but I don't tend to agree with that, and I think that those boys, not just, you know, it was a 15 performance. It wasn't great. Everyone keeps you know, relating back to the pack, but I think as to a man, everyone who took that field was their best against that game. Whether we got caught up in the whole derby thing, and you know, the fact that, like I said, we maybe, and you know, we underprepared ourselves a little bit, but it certainly won't be happening this week, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of people, especially in the pack, that are going to look to go prove some people wrong, and no better place to do that than Treviso.
What was the message when you came in yesterday from the coaching team?
It's one of, you know, we're not panicking. We're really happy where we are in terms of the season so far, and I think we just, the coaches didn't need, the boys know themselves, you know, you don't need coaches to tell you what went wrong. As a professional rugby player, you should already know that by the Monday morning, and I think it was just, the lads were just eager to put that game to bed and move on in the preparations for this weekend.
I mean, Simon said after the game he was pretty honest in his assessment. Is that part of what he's brought you, and that, you know, no excuses, pretty honest with himself?
Yeah, definitely, and I think that you know, it starts at the top with Simon and the other coaching staff being honest, and it comes down to the players, and I think that's one of our big values this year, is that we're going to be honest, and when we're not good enough, we're not good enough, and we're, you know, by our own admission, Friday night was that case. So yeah, Simon instills honesty. You know, he did it as a player, and he's doing it as a coach, but along with that, there's the same value shared amongst a lot of the boys anyway, so we don't have a problem there.